Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much to all of last month's subscribers for taking an interest in what we're doing on this channel. I'm sure lots of you have seen my sim rig at this point, but just in case, we're going to put a link above to a playlist of all of my sim rig videos. I've been pretty honest about how uncomfortable the NRG racing seat is, but 2 years ago when I started building the sim rig, it was one of the cheapest racing seats that you could get from Amazon. Times have changed a little bit since then, and that seat is now almost $300 on Amazon compared to the $200 that I paid for it when I first started my build. One thing that likely hasn't changed though is how uncomfortable the seat probably is. So actually, if you could do me a favor, if anybody has purchased that seat in maybe like the last couple months before the date that this video was posted, let me know. Drop a comment below and let me know if it is any more comfortable. I assume it's just the same seat, but you never know. Maybe they did fix it up a little bit. Anybody who's built a sim rig before, or has purchased one for that matter, knows that the two best options for a sim racing seat are either the seat out of an actual car that's meant to be sat in for longer periods of time, or to buy a high-end sim racing seat that actually has enough padding and is made for those long sessions while you're sim racing. So what do we do from here to make the sim rig more comfortable? Well, I could go out to the junkyard and I could get another seat, and that would definitely fix the issue. And it would probably be pretty cheap too. I could also buy a nicer sim racing seat, but that would be expensive. And with either of those options, I still have the NRG racing seat laying around that I have to do something with. Of course I could sell it, but I'm not entirely sure I want to really deal with that process right now. So that brings us to today's video. Can we make this NRG racing seat better? The goal with this video is to try and add some more foam to the seat without actually modifying the seat itself. That way, if the idea fails, I can sell it and I can put that money towards another seat. So first up, we need to get some materials. Now, I started looking on Amazon for different sizes of padding, and again, trying to keep budget in mind, I started looking at all these small foam pads that were in the $20 to $30 range, but nothing was really catching my eye. And randomly, I ended up coming across something that I think might work. It was a twin XL memory foam mattress topper. Now, this is way more foam than I actually needed for this project, but I do have some other projects in the future that I could use it for. So, you know, when you look at the price per square inch, it was cheaper. And honestly, it wasn't much more expensive than some of those other foam pads. The next thing I had to think about is how am I actually going to attach the pad to the chair without modifying the chair? So luckily the seat and the seat cushion already have Velcro on them. And because I have a bunch of Velcro on hand for cable management and things like that, I figured I would just use that to try and attach the foam to the chair. And to do that, we're gonna use Gorilla Glue, because Gorilla Glue has never let me down in the past. So let's go ahead and get started on the process. So the foam pad that I'm talking about is going to be this one right here. This is the main one where pretty much all of your pressure is being put. So that's the one we're going to take. The next step is to open up the foam package here, and I have to admit I'm not really looking forward to this because once it expands, I'm likely never getting it back in this bag again, which means that I'm gonna have a giant mattress pad kind of tucked in a corner somewhere until I start on my other projects. But here we go. Well, it's all rolled out now, but we'll have to give it a little bit so that I can fully expand, and then we can start cutting. Hey guys, Deutschbag here. I just got done reading the instructions for this thing because it's been a half hour, and as you can see, it's still not really expanding. Apparently you're supposed to let these things sit for like 48 hours in order to fully expand. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna let it sit for as long as it needs, and then come back and we'll actually start on fitting the new cushion.
2 days later.
All right, so the foam has fully expanded now, as you can see. And so now what we're gonna do is we're going to take the cushion from the chair, put it on top of the foam. We're gonna cut the foam just a little bit shorter than the cushion so that it doesn't stick out around the sides. We're going to cut the Velcro, glue it in place, and then we'll be ready to test it out. All right, so everything is glued. You can see that I put the 12-pack of soda on top of that to keep all of the Velcro nice and flat and make sure that the glue sets correctly. So we'll leave it for 24 hours and then we'll come back and we'll test the fitment and test the performance of it. Also, I just want to say, if you are enjoying this video so far, make sure to drop a like down below, and while you're in the vicinity, maybe consider subscribing. And if you do both of those things, an extra special thank you to you.
24 hours later.
All right, so let's go ahead and install this thing. You can see we've got these Velcro strips down here, and those line up with the Velcro strips on the pad here. So let's go ahead and just toss that in. Okay, so that is in there, and then we can actually put the cushion on top of that. Get it tucked in a little bit. Looks like it does push up just a tiny bit in the front here. So I'm gonna play around with this and see if I can get it to fit in there just a little bit better. And then we'll give it a shot, we'll try it out, and I'll report back on how it works.
2 hours later.
So now the moment of truth. Did the cushion help us, or was it completely terrible? The answer is, So for the test, what I did is I sat down for roughly 2.5 hours. I finally put some time into Gran Turismo 7, which is something that I've been wanting to do for a while and just haven't been able to find the time to do it. Now, after playing the game for that long, I got out of the chair and immediately I could feel that my body was sore. I don't think that the chair itself is very ergonomic, so that is likely the cause of why I hurt everywhere. Versus, if you're in an actual seat of a car, the seats are meant to be more ergonomic. So from that standpoint, nothing was better. However, I will say my butt didn't hurt. It was actually somewhat comfortable on my butt because, prior to adding the cushion, when I would get up, I could feel the pain. It was definitely a noticeable difference. So it did help a little bit, but it still didn't change the fact that, after such a long session, you're just sore. And like I said, I'm pretty sure it's just the ergonomics of the chair. So it's likely not going to get any better without significant modifications. And that was kind of the point of this video, to find out, should we still use that? Is there a way we can make it better, or should we get an actual car seat to replace it? So final verdict, replace it. Let me know down in the comments what you thought about this project. Let me know if you have any other suggestions that you think might help to make sure I'm not as sore after a long session like that. I have tried, moving it to different positions, sliding it back and forth, and none of those really seem to help, so I think I'm just kind of gonna start looking for a new chair at this point. But like usual, if you have any questions about this project, feel free to hit me up at the socials linked down below. I'm also streaming twice a week on Twitch, so you can drop a follow over there and see when I go live. Otherwise, I just want to thank you all so much for watching this video. Remember to hug your friends and family, and we will see you in the next one.